I mean, traditionally, Americans, they can't help but, be like, oh my God. Like look at Disney. All the teenagers in Disney or young adults in Disney, every time they wanted to be a little bit more free and, express their sexuality or express their freedom, they were shunned and they were judged. So I feel like it is very similar. It's just that America tries to have this facade of like, no, we accept it. We accept women's rights. Like, it's like really cool. Like, women's rights is like really awesome.
I literally have to fucking cackle because it's literally just like a parent, like, you can do that, but as soon as you step out of line, they're like, no.
Like,
you know what I mean? They like reprimand you.
How's it going? How are you doing on this fine Friday, 2 days post the Gemini moon?
Yes.
Gemini full moon.
Yes.
The last full moon of the year. I was actually just telling Maya, I don't know what it is. December don't be hitting. And it breaks my heart. It really does break my heart to say that as a Sag lover. And as someone who has many Sages around me. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like, it's not personal. But I'm sorry, December hasn't been hitting for a few years. I feel stressed. I just feel like it's a lot for me. How's everyone else feeling, though?
I thought it was very funny that we fa-la-la-la-la'd because that was the most festive and joyous I have felt all Sag season.
No, literally.
La-la-la-la-la-fuck! Literally.
That's what it felt like.
Literally.
No, literally.
I sent you a meme the other day of Miss Piggy being like, fuck! And it was about, truly, Aries, like, stressed and being all, like, crazy. But I feel like it fits the energy
of now. It truly does. Because, like, what the fuck is happening again once more? I don't know about you guys, but I truly feel like every year it's feeling more like a simulation. Like, the shit that pops off in the news, like, just life in general, there is no order. And, like, usually I'm okay with that because I like to live a non-traditional life. But I genuinely feel like, I truly feel like this is, like, a different type of different.
It is because, okay.
If that makes sense. You guys know what I mean. Life feels funny.
It feels extra funny. And I'm going to say something else to add a little sprinkle into this because, let's be real. I know anyone who's listening right now knows somebody who is sick. It's not COVID, but everybody and their mamas is sick. Either you have COVID or you have some other upper respiratory infection, right? Yeah. But nobody's talking about it like they were the past 2.5 years of COVID. Yeah, so I feel like that's another weird thing. They're just like, we getting sick out here. People dying. It is what it is. You better keep going and live your life. And I feel like that's part of the reason why I've been, like, extra stressed, too. Like, people are expecting things to just be going back to normal. But things ain't really normal.
My thing is maybe things were never normal to begin with.
No, it's true.
And we all just thought everything was normal because we were probably easier to control that way. And I think there are still some people that, even though all the shit that's coming out, like world news, blah, 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 like they're just like, whatever, life. But if we went through, those years during COVID or whatever, and we didn't come out of it being a little bit more aware about how much, our society wants to control us and how much they actually freak out when we start thinking and asking questions, like, then you didn't learn anything from the past 3 years. And I genuinely feel like COVID was something that was so different. And I feel like these world powers and governments in general, like, they kind of freaked out because we started, the same things didn't matter to us. Like, you know what I mean? Especially as it relates to, like, consumerism and things like that. Like, people are just a little bit more aware. And also, we're pretty much in a recession. If people don't want to admit it, like, that's on you. That's between you and you. Like, I really am not in the business of, like, convincing you that we are. So, like, go argue with yourself or CNN or, like, anywhere else. But we're in a recession. And
Yes.
And I genuinely feel like people are, oh my God, people are acting crazy. People are surviving.
Facts.
Our government had a lot of people fucked up. A lot of people quit their jobs that they weren't being valued at. Mm-hmm. Or they realized, oh shit, my job doesn't care about me. I'm telling my job, my mom, this, that. Like, they're dying because of COVID. They don't care. Fuck you. I'm going to quit. Like, a lot of people are understanding how much these jobs don't give a fuck about them, or that they want to, make you put your life in danger and still don't want to pay you a fair wage. So a lot of people are right now unemployed, or they're just not willing to settle. And I feel like this is a very scary time for the government and these world powers, even like what's happening in Iran. If this is your first time watching, go watch like 2 episodes ago. I'm Iranian. We had a really open and honest conversation about what's happening in Iran, and it's been happening for a few months now.
Yeah.
But it's still going strong. You know what I mean? So it's not just like something that's happening in the United States. I feel like this energy is coming through worldwide where people are just fed up.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like it feels like people are finally seeing how much they're not valued.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's very scary for the people in control.
For sure.
Because people that are fed up,
we fed the fuck up. Changes are coming. You know, like, to me, it finally feels like a page is actually going to turn. You know, like, society always moves way slower than I would ever like it to as a fire sign.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm like, why didn't change happen instantly? Like, we all, my people understand or are woke, for lack of better terms, to this. Why didn't it change instantly, right? But that's not actually how the world works, right? But I do genuinely, I agree with everything that you're saying, and it feels like a collective of the world that, like, something is changing. Like, the things that used to motivate us,
they don't.
Are no longer motivating us. We care about our health, other people's well-being, our planet. Yeah. You know what I mean? Our rights. And it's really coming back to a head, I feel like, for the first time in, like, decades. Like, really since, like, the 60s, at least in America, not in other countries, because they have been uprising and overthrowing governments for a while now. But in America, it really feels like there's a shift of a tide, and it's exciting to see that other places in the world are going through it too, because it feels really like a collective, like, yeah, we are fed up, and something way, way higher than us is changing.
I think it's really interesting, absolutely, because when you think about it, like, Iran and America have this, this feud that they've had for a few decades now since, the revolution happened. But it's crazy that Iran and America, they're kind of parallel to each other right now in terms of, like, women's rights and, like, all the protests and, like, people just being fed up when it comes to their government and the way it's being ruled and religion taking over. Like, that is not a coincidence to me. As an Iranian, like, living in America, like, that's so fascinating and interesting to me. I don't think there's such a thing as coincidences when it comes to this. It seems very karmic.
Yeah, and quite literally fighting the separation of, like, church and state. You know what I mean?
Except the only difference is Iran is very much like, yes, religion is running the government, and America is doing that cute little thing like separation of church and state. Meanwhile, the church is trying to run the motherfucking state.
Exactly. All of the new laws are like, we church, and it's like, bruh.
Well, I actually think it's really interesting because when you think about it in Iran, it is very much like it's very much direct and intense when it comes to judgment as it relates to, like, women and sexuality and freedom. Whereas in America, they try to hide it. They have this, like, facade of, like, we're open and you know what I mean? Like, we don't judge and everyone can do what they want, but it has this underlying theme of judgment. Yeah. Whenever someone openly sexual or a woman is feeling free, like, you know what I mean? Traditionally, Americans, they can't help but, be like, oh my God. Like, look at Disney. All the teenagers in Disney or young adults in Disney, every time they wanted to be a little bit more free and, express their sexuality or express their freedom, they were shunned and they were judged. So I feel like it is very similar. It's just that America tries to have this facade of, like, no, we accept it. We accept women's rights. Like, it's, like, really cool. Like, women's rights is, like, really awesome.
I literally have to fucking cackle because it's literally just, like, a parent, like, you can do that. But as soon as you step out of line, they're like, no. You know what I mean? They, like, reprimand you. You know? Because they don't really mean it. They don't really fucking mean it.
But at least Iran's not lying.
But exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Gross.
At least Iran's like, no, we ain't fucking with the women. Yeah. We ain't with this.
You couldn't tell. Fuck women having rights.
Okay.
Either way,
I mean, it's terrible.
Both of them fucked up
but
to me.
I know where they're coming from. You know? Like, America tries to hide it.
No, it's
they try
true.
to be like, I care about a woman, and I don't know where this accent came from. But they're like...
if you're going to do it, stick with it. Y'all know what we're saying.
You know.
They know what we're saying. Also, to go back to what you were talking about when he said, like, oh, it's like an era, like... It seems like more than everything, like people care about their health and like I couldn't help but think about the fact that, you know, this is Uranus and Taurus. Uranus is the planet of change and surprises. And it's in the sign of Taurus, the sign that is correlated with the second house of like values and self-esteem. You know what I mean?
Ooh, also
natural
our possessions,
beauty, possessions, our self-worth. So I feel like that's also not a coincidence either. Like truly, it needs to get a little dark before it gets better. Because I have gone through my second house profection year 3 years ago because I'm on my fifth one now. So when I was 24 or 25, I forgot which one it is, your second house. But either way, your second house profection year, essentially, it is a year in which you are going through the themes of the second house, which is like I said, values, self-worth, your possessions, and like that shit was rough. Because at first I'm like, what can I call my own? Like, you know, and do I love myself? And why is it that I love myself when I have these things, or when I don't love myself when I don't have these things? Like, it can be very dark, but I feel like throughout the end of it, I really started to value myself and love myself and be like, these are the things that ground me. And these are the things that I love and I want and I have. Or if I don't have, I'm working towards to get because they will make me feel good.
Yeah.
And not on some like fake shit like this and that, like truly like
values. It's a true value that brings you security.
And it could still be financially, but like not like fake financially.
But it's like, not like an item like my phone or something like as tangible as it was. Because I totally agree. Like, I went through the same stage where it was like, I was clinging on to things and it hurt me when people stole things from me or when they broke my things. And then it was just like a realization, like,
it comes back.
It comes back, and
matter.
I don't.
That's not something that's valuable to you. Like, you want a girl, the universe will give you 10 more of better quality.
Right.
And because that's what you deserve. Because you know you deserve it. Right. And that's what that, second house energy means.
Yeah.
Not that you have a lot, that you will, no matter what, be okay, because what you want is what you'll get. Yeah. That's what you attract.
Right.
You know?
And you don't have to have physical things to take with you. It's the feeling and the energy of security.
And let's say you want that physical thing and you lose it. I promise you, when your energy's right, no matter where you go, you will find that thing.
Oh,
yes. That very same thing will just drop into your life. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, I lost my bicycle. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it could be something as dumb as that.
Literally.
You're like, I'm moving. I'm never going to find that bicycle. Somehow, someone that you know just got an extra bicycle that looks exactly like your last one, and now it's yours.
Quite literally.
Like, that's literally how it works. And like, so I want people to understand that I truly think that's the energy that the universe is receiving with Uranus and Taurus. Like, really tap into what you value. Mm-hmm. And those things will come forth, but you have to be honest with yourself, about what it is that you value. And you have to be willing to say it confidently to those around you. Because I think a lot of us, we want certain things and we're kind of ashamed to admit it. Mm-hmm. And it could not even be, individually, obviously, but community, like a whole country, the universe. We all just need to be honest about what it is that is valuable to us. And say it boldly and proudly.
Hell yeah.
Because you're definitely not going to get it if you think it's embarrassing for you to want it.
For sure.
Is what I've learned.
Yes, that is so true. That is so true. And I feel like fully understanding why you really want it too. You know what I mean? Because there were some things that I realized in my life, like I say, like, I want to be healthy. What does that really mean? You know what I mean? And it wasn't even that I want to be healthy. It was like, I want to be fit. Like, I want to look a certain type of way. Well, why do you want to look that way? You know what I mean? What does it really deter from that? You know, like, it's not just about your body, right? Or maybe it is about your body for you. Whatever it may be, you know? But yes, exactly that. Be honest with what is the driving motive behind it. Yeah. And I feel like that will help guide you and feel more solid in it. Yeah, you know? Which is ultimately what we want for use.
It truly is.
And how to harness and be better with the energy too.
Absolutely.
Because it can... If you're not aware, I feel like it can be overpowering and you will get very upset about the little tangible things and these little possessions and possessions over people even, you know? And you just have to be aware of it. Because that's not what you really want, you know?
It's not. You know? It's not.
And it's not like your real intention and your motive of why you're doing it.
Truly.
You know?
And you know, us having even just this conversation reminded me of this tweet. And I posted it on our Instagram story, and I retweeted it, and I posted it on my other story. Like, it was just one of those where it's like, you read it, and you're like, everybody needs to see this.
It's hitting.
It's the one. And her name is, or I'm assuming it's a her. It could be they. Like, I never want to mistake someone's pronouns.
Their name
is Otis at Joan Taw. So Jonta. I used to say, I don't ask for much, and then realize that was the problem.
Ooh.
And that shit really hit for me because I can truly admit that so many times I would literally tell myself, like, as I'm crying, having a breakdown, I don't ask for much. Like, I don't ask for much. I want this. I deserve this. Da, 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 da. And then... You know, later in life, I mean, like, as of, like, a year, maybe less than ago, I was like, I deserve more. Mm-hmm. I deserve more. Mm-hmm. Like, I would be in horrible situations, and I would think to myself, why is this happening to me? And even the language matters. I started saying, I deserve more. Mm-hmm. And that is so important to do, y'all. Like, just because you're not asking for much, like, that doesn't mean shit. Let's ask for even more.
Right.
Like, the fact that you're not asking for much is probably why you're not getting what you deserve.
You probably didn't even ask for what you really wanted in the first place.
Like, you're already stuck with this situation that's not at all valuable to you.
Right.
But now you're thinking about, like... I don't ask for much. Yeah, I know. That's literally why you are. It's
quite literally the problem.
Why not just like break free of that and just be like, okay, so we definitely don't want that. But let me tell you what I do want. I want this, that, and the third.
It's quite literally like the saying, you know, you shoot for the moon and land among the stars. You know, you always want to shoot over what you really want because then you land somewhere where you're happy.
Nearby.
You know what I mean? Not like way below. Not like talking. No. You know what I mean?
It always reminds me of when you do say that thing where you're like, with men, you need to at least, you know, give them expectations of all the way up here.
You need to set the bar.
Because if you set the bar, or if you don't, it'll definitely be lower.
If you don't set the bar, you always have to set the tone, you know, because they will always linger underneath men.
Yeah.
Bless them.
They're just simple beings. They don't feel the need to do the most.
You know, but we set the tone. I think it goes back to what Sarah's saying. We set the tone in the standards.
So you set the tone in your relationship with yourself in the universe.
Shoot higher.
Yeah, higher. Like, it's crazy to me that, I mean, I feel like upbringing really matters. Yeah. Like, if you weren't taught by your parents or from the way they live life that you can ask for more and you deserve more, you're going to think, like, you're doing too much and that you have all these high expectations and that, oh, be humble. Like, why aren't you humble? Like, listen, you can be humble. Like, when you have shit, you can be humble. But if you don't got shit, I need you to not be humble and ask for more. That's what I really want people to do.
Yeah.
Because there's a difference between, like, being humble in the sense that you have a lot and you still go around and you tell people how much you got. But if you are working the system in some way, if you are working the universe in some way, I need you to be honest and really be cocky. Ask for it.
Hell yeah.
I mean, even when it comes to salaries, like, they always say, I mean, I don't know, I always say, go with a crazy number, because then they'll just be like, well, we can't give you that, and they'll give you their highest number that they can give you.
Right.
But if you go down, they're going to be like, perfect, we'll reach you down there.
Right. No, as a recruiter, you ask, what is your salary range for this position?
Yeah.
Because they have something budgeted already.
Yeah.
So they share that with you.
Exactly.
And then you say, I'm aiming for the top of that range.
Well, actually, that's amazing now, especially because I work in HR, and it
wasn't always legal.
In New York, they just actually passed a law that in every position they have to tell you the salary range, and that already happened. And right now, they're doing it for San Francisco as of January, where they're gonna have to give people that salary range. So maybe knowing that will ultimately make you feel a little bit more confident about what you think you deserve within that range. Because I think before this became a law, people were nervous. Like, oh my God, like, are they just not going to get back to me because I expected too much?
Yeah.
Like, just stop thinking that.
Yeah. No. Literally.
All they can do is be like, well, we don't got that, but we got this. Literally.
Right? Literally. And you can find that out in the first conversation. Yeah. Like I said, I'm a full-time recruiter. So you should check that out in the first call.
Should.
Because they have not opened that position without knowing the salary band.
Well, okay? Absolutely. And, we all just need to be more confident about shit. You really do. Especially if you're a woman or if you're brown. And especially if you're a brown woman.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Don't ever share what you've been making, honey. Yeah. Okay? No. Literally.
One of my favorite experiences was I was working with this recruiter, and I shared my range with her. And I guess I was like a really good candidate to her. Like, she knew I was going to get the job. And she said, oh, honey, we're going to get you more than that.
Yes.
And then she shared.
That's a good recruiter right there.
And then I got that job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was just amazing because she really did that for me. Because I thought I was shooting high. And she was like, she got me like a lot more.
Yeah.
It's like, wow. I love you.
Right? You're like, thank you.
You're like the shit.
Thank you.
So ask for more because you deserve it.
Seriously, just ask for the salary range because you never know. Guaranteed, people have been paying you less. Speaking personally, as a black woman, like the last few jobs that I haven't shared my salary. And if you want tips on how to get a higher one, comment down below because
Show you.
I got you. I got you. It's possible. Just one, like Sarah said, have confidence in yourself and don't show all your cards. That's something else that we've talked about a few times on this channel. But in that negotiation stage, definitely don't show all your cards.
No, I'm telling you, as a Libra Mercury, it's not about what you say, it's how you say it.
Make them sweat a little bit.
Exactly. Just lead the conversation with the most amount of cockiness you can bring up without looking cocky.
So you like this about me in the interview process. Great. So this is why I deserve more money then.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you could be like, well, I do have a couple of other places that are looking for.
Exactly. Yeah. Always that. Always that.
Just let me know if, if
I
take priority over your other candidates, then I'm definitely willing to have another conversation with you.
Right. I'm most interested about this one, and I would love to lock it down at this price.
Yeah. That's it. Like, you guys, it's as
easy as that. Okay.
You just got remember if you watch for you, I'm gonna drop my other interviews.
Forget that. Who will forget that? The kind of person doesn't see what he has until she leaves. Don't let me go. you're not living, so you're living with me. Oh my gosh. So I don't know if you saw.
Kiki?
Yeah! I'm so excited.
I'm actually shook it.
I was shook it.
Because I had no idea she was pregnant. Like, she did a damn good job hiding it.
Classic Virgo shit.
Yeah.
You know, they'd be just as secretive as a Scorpio
It's
and the
true.
Capricorns out here.
But, like, I was about to say, but Kylie's a Leo, the most showy sign, but she's a Scorpio moon. So it makes sense. 'Cause that was the ultimate, like,
it was like, huh?
But yeah, I'm so happy for Kiki. And that's so cute.
I know.
I feel like everybody's pregnant.
Okay.
Is it just me or is everyone pregnant?
No, everybody pregnant or been pregnant, just had baby. You know what I mean?
Everybody's either a mother or about to be one.
Right. I is not a mother.
No, I am your mother, but not that mother.
I am your dad.
I am your zaddy, baby.
Don't you forget it.
Yeah, no. I am so happy for all the
truly,
beautiful women that are pregnant, just had babies.
Because as we were speaking, it reminded me that Janae, had her baby recently as well. Her sweet little baby, which makes me so happy. Her and Big Sean's little love child.
I know. That is so cute.
Man.
Okay, so would you want to know your babies, like, if you, because me and Maya have openly admitted to each other that we'd be okay either way if we have kids or not. Mm-hmm. Like, I know I'm okay with that either way. Like, I don't know what this world's going to be like. I don't
like
give
the world's ending.
Well,
so like,
also, I hate when people are like, your biological clock. I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
Also,
I don't. Go ahead.
We hate. I'll speak for us. We hate people who think that our only purpose in this world is to produce. No. You know what I mean? Like,
or
we have
get
so
married,
much, or to be in a relationship.
Literally.
Like, no.
One of my favorite things I've told Maya. What is it, Maya? She still brings it up to me this day because I was going off on a tangent.
She was going off, and I loved it. She
was years
like,
ago.
I was not put on this earth to be in a good relationship, to be a good girlfriend or whatever.
Yeah,
you know,
and not like I
so
deserve toxicity. Like, I just meant that, like, if all I'm doing is thinking about my romantic life and this and that, I'm just like this should not be taking up all my fucking time and energy. I was not on this. My purpose is not to be a good girlfriend or a good wife or whatever it may be. Like, there has to be other things I can put my energy into.
And this is coming from a Scorpio. Yeah. The biggest, intense lovers, okay?
Yeah,
water
literally.
signs, okay?
Yeah.
So I just want other people to understand that too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's so important. And my thing is, when it happens, it happens. If it happens, it happens. Like, I have lots of aunts and uncles, and I remember, this is one of my main memories from being in Iran. I had this uncle and this aunt, and they wanted to get pregnant so bad, and it just was not happening. And, like, at a certain point, like, we just thought, like, well, it's just not going to happen for them. It's not in the books. And that's when me and my family moved to America, and I remember years later, like, my aunt was in her mid-40s, and she got pregnant with her kid, which is my cousin, my first cousin, because you have your first cousins and you have
Get out of here.
No, but she's my first cousin. And I love her so much. But they got pregnant, and, like, I always think about that when people are like, well, after 30, there's, I'm like, shut the fuck up.
No.
There's people in their 40s who people told they're not getting pregnant, and they get pregnant. Like, it really, if it's meant for you, I truly believe it's going to happen for you.
1,000%.
So I refuse to be like, oh my God, I'm so scared. Like, I just don't care.
For sure. And
the universe has plans for you beyond what you have planned for yourself.
Yes, besides birthing or being in a relationship.
Literally.
Okay, honey? Like, yes, love is great and wonderful, but it ain't everything in this world.
We've talked about this before where I've told you, I'm like, Maya, I genuinely feel like, I mean, you could tie it to astrology, family dynamics, whatever it may be. We have certain strengths. Every single person has a certain strength and a certain purpose. Mm-hmm. Like, if you want to value your career or your passion or whatever it may be, you know what I mean? Whatever it may be, literally. self-worth, self-value, whatever it may be for you, if that is something that you're focusing on in this life, who's to say that you're fucking up because you're not focusing on the traditional things that other people are focusing on? Because maybe that's the energy that you're working with in this lifetime. Your energy is meant to go towards your career. And I mean, everyone has a north node. If you're into astrology, your north node, sign and house is the area of life and the sign's energy that you're meant to focus on in this life. That's where your purpose is. And everyone's is different. So to make everyone believe this traditional way of living, of like, go to school, get married, pop out some kids, get a house. Okay, yeah. For some people, that is ultimately the best thing they can do, and it'll fulfill them. Not for everyone. So we all just need to be more, I feel like, we all just need to be more gracious towards each other when we value different things in life. And we're happier doing different things in life, because what makes you happy might not make someone else happy, but because you're guilt tripping them, or society's guilt tripping them by making them feel like, well, that's the thing for you, if you don't like it, like, you're weird, you're literally actually hijacking their purpose,
for sure,
because you're forcing them to believe that the thing that made you happy is going to make them happy. How do you know that?
You don't. And it's so funny because you're so right. Like, to me, I feel like when I think of America, I think of, like those little cookie shapes that are already cut out for you, like pre-made.
Yep.
They like stamp it, and they basically want everyone to like look alike, do the same thing, and like, if you do this, you're going to be happy.
Yeah.
And in some ways, sure, like, there are things that I can even agree on in the American dream, for lack of better terms, like, I have benefited from. Like, going to college. That was a great experience for me. I met my best friend in the entire world, my soulmate, love of my life. You know what I mean? Like, that was fucking amazing. And I recommend everyone to do that. But not everyone has to go to college to experience or find the love of their life or do these things, So this cookie cutter form, not everybody fits in that.
No.
And like, sure, they have recommendations to like, or recommendations to go this way or that way, but they don't know you. They don't know what's best for you.
At all.
So don't let that like get you down or like really say like, this is how you have to go or operate either. Because me and Sarah, like, while we agree on so many things, like, we are very fundamentally different people, you know? And I love that we can communicate those things and that we feel comfortable being ourselves around each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's something that we want for everyone who sees us and, like, knows us as friends or know us individually. Like, be you and be confident in whatever it is that you want. Like, if you want that, don't, like, settle for anything.
Yourself. Don't lie to yourself.
You know what I mean? Because somebody's going to be fucking with you.
I was literally telling Maya, and like, well, now I'm saying it on a public platform. I was telling Maya, I'm like, Maya, like, I have something to share with you. Because, she's my best friend. I'm like, she's one of the people that, like, if something important is happening to me or I've made a decision about myself and my life, like, she's my chosen family. So I told her, I'm like, Maya, I think, like, when me and Miguel, my boyfriend, lived together, like, I think I want us to have separate bedrooms. And, like, that was such a big thing for me to share with my best friend. And I've thought about this, and then I talked to my boyfriend about it, and he was like, yeah, like,
sounds good for me.
Yeah, because, I mean, the thing that I can say about it is that, like, truly, like, I like my personal space, and I think about it as, like, oh, my God, like, we both set up our bedrooms the way we like it, and, like, we can have sleepovers at each other's bedrooms every night. If we want to sleep next to each other every night, we can still do that, but it's just depending on the vibe that we want. But when you think about a traditional life, for how many years and, the whole entire world, like, a man and a woman together, like, they need to sleep in the same bed. They need to have the same bedroom. Like, what's wrong in your relationship?
It's not a holy matrimony.
It's not a holy matrimony. There has to be. There must be some problems there,
right?
Like, like they don't love each other.
No. More importantly, you aren't pleasing your man.
Exactly. I'm like,
because it's never about the man.
Well, first of all, I don't like shut the fuck up.
We don't condone to any of that, but that's what it is.
And I think it's crazy because the ultimate factor that made me nervous about sharing it with anyone one, obviously, is like, are they going to judge me? Are they going to think that my relationship is weird? Blah, 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 blah. And then I realized, Sarah, it's bigger than all of this for you. Sarah, you want to live an untraditional life. Mm-hmm. And you living an untraditional life, although it may make people feel uncomfortable, that doesn't mean that it's not right for you and that ultimately it's not going to make you the happiest you can be. Mm-hmm. I can't live my life based on what other people tell me to do. And if other people choose to project their insecurities onto me and tell me because of the way I'm living that this, that, and the third, you don't know me.
Correct.
If you are happy with your life, why does it matter what I'm doing with mine and my man's? And if my man's is happy and I'm happy, that's all that really matters to me. Mm-hmm. I am someone who values my own space. I'm type A clean freak. So I genuinely even think if I were to have the same bedroom as my man, we would break up even faster. Like, we would. Like, truly. Because I like my way set up a certain way. And, you know, he is a streamer. Like, he loves to stay up late and stream. Mm-hmm. Like, and I want him to have that experience. And I like to freaking, you know, have a beautiful, cute little room, girly girl, do my makeup, eat my face, like, whatever it may be. And, like, I mean, in my future, I'm asking for a lot. I'm asking for a lot of rooms. I want a makeup room.
Yes.
But either way, in my girly bedroom, I want to have, you know, my vibe there. Mm-hmm. And I really shouldn't even have to say anything more than that, other than the fact that I think that will make me happy. And if he's okay with it, I think it'll make him happy too. He has Aquarius in his chart, so I know he loves his individuality and their own space.
Alone time.
And Aries too, he has that. So when I realized that, I realized, okay, the next step is for me to ultimately share it with, you know, a few people that I love. And that was a little bit like interesting for me because, like I said, it's not a traditional way of doing things, but it really just triggered me to realize I'm not a traditional girl, but I come from a very traditional background. You know, I'm a Middle Eastern girl, like, you know, like that's just the way it is, you know, even though my family's modern, still I come from a traditional culture. Yeah. So I've just realized, like, oh my God, like there really is so many boundaries that I'm breaking in this lifetime, and to openly do it in this way, and now sharing it with, you know, people on the internet, whatever, like people can say whatever they want, but I've just realized, like, I value my freedom. Yes. And I really don't care what people have to say about it. And something about that feels really empowering.
Yeah. No, and that's the most important thing. And no one on our channel is going to dare say anything. Yeah. But if you did, I will just go ahead and say fuck you, and you can hop offline, okay? No, because I will be...
You can. No, I agree. No, you can.
Quite literally, you can, because at the end of the day, you are not in Sarah's relationship. You know what I mean?
No,
you
I
are going to do
don't even think people that genuinely fuck with us would even care.
No, they would never. But I just also am just like, I want to empower people to feel as strongly as you do in your truth right now. You know, in the sense that, like, whatever, this makes Sarah happy. Yeah. Right? It doesn't matter what the fuck you say. Right? Like, I just want people to understand that. Like, whatever makes you happy in a relationship.
That. Truly. And, like, it doesn't even have to be, like, what I'm saying right now. Maybe there's something that you want in a friendship, relationship, work, whatever it may be. And, like, that's your thing, but you're scared that because it's so different than what, you know, how other people traditionally live, you think, well, maybe I should hide that. And I really want to empower people to be like, no, like, if that's your thing, that can be your thing. If you're the one person in the universe that wants that thing, that's good enough. You don't have to agree with everyone in the way that you live life. As long as you're okay with it and the other person involved is okay with it, if there's another person involved, that's all that matters. But you just need to be strong enough and have the willpower to not let other people's projections and their judgments dictate the way that you feel. Because I think that is ultimately the thing that really stresses people out. Thinking, well, when people judge me, am I going to cave? Am I going to fall back? And, you know, that was something that was hard for me until I realized, like, no, like, I don't care anymore. Like, this is my life. I don't want to be 60, 70, 80 years old and think, well, I wish in those beginning years I would have just done what I wanted to do. I'm kind of taking my power back.
Yes. And this reminds me of something else, too, that we've talked about before. We talked about this offline. Yeah. I love that y'all going to have separate rooms because, too, in a relationship, you need a little surprise. You need a little, what's the word? Ambiguity, unknown, you know? No, I love that you guys are going to have your own rooms because then you can come and be like, after, you know, you're coming for a date, you're like, hey, babe.
Yeah. Like or this is what I'm wearing.
Me, you know? And you're like, damn, you're looking good. And you get to have that, like, reveal. And those little things, it sounds so silly, but then when you live every day together, those little things matter so much more. And we always talk about how the little things matter. But, like, in this sense, like, keeping a little bit of secrecy in your relationship is so valuable and keeps the love alive.
Don't talk to me about a secret.
Said, don't talk to me. I cannot.
You go get my Scorpio ass excited. She said secret. I'm like, a secret. No, truly, yes. And like, my thing is like, it's a different vibe. You guys, like, I am a different vibe. Just like you are a different vibe. You are a different vibe.
Your whole own vibe.
I think we all deserve to have a vibe. Yes. And truly, I genuinely feel like it's going to be different vibe depending on whose bedroom we want to sleep in. Like, oh my God, like, I'm feeling a little, like, let's go to yours for movie night, or let's do this at mine. Like, that seems so fun. And I do also want to be cautious of the fact that not everyone has the financial ability to have that many rooms where they have their own room, blah, 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 blah. I'm totally hyper aware of that. But I've also been honest with myself in the sense that I'm not living with a man unless we can afford 2 bedrooms together.
Right.
And not like everyone, it's something that I will not, you know, I'm not caving. Like, I can't compromise on that.
I feel the exact same way.
I just feel like that's just something that's my boundary. Everyone's boundary is different. I get it. It's something that I'm not willing to let go of. Like, unless we can, at the minimum, afford 2 bedrooms, then we're not ready to live together. Quite
literally.
For everyone, it's different. But that's my thing, really.
Yeah.
And I come from a family, an immigrant family that had literally 8 to 7 people at all times, and
living in 2 bedrooms.
Literally, like, there would be 2 bedrooms or 3.
We lived together.
Like, I knew what it felt like for us to be 4 of us in 1 bedroom. You know, so I'm not coming from like, and even if I was, none of your business. But I'm not coming from that.
But that's her decision to make.
Exactly. Like, I grew up in, you know, in a chaotic household that, you know, shoved multiple people in one room, and that's just not something that I desire for myself in my future. Mm-hmm. And I'm more than comfortable telling the universe that.
Mm-hmm. And telling her partner that, which is something that's even more important and valuable, and something that we always talk about. Like, listen, relationships are only as meaningful as the conversations that you have with the people in them, right? Yeah. Because we are always evolving at the end of the day. People are always changing. New factors and stuff are coming in. And we do regularly have to check in like, hey, is this good? Like, are we still, like, here and vibing and, like, you want to live this way? This is good for you. And that's something that we always preach and that we always try and practice, I think, as well in our own personal relationships.
Absolutely.
And you just do you, baby.
Do you?
Everybody can live however the fuck they want to live.
Exactly. And boldly do it.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Because nobody, like, quite frankly, someone who's telling you to stop living a certain way probably is unhappy. Yeah. So, like, look at their life and their relationship before you really, like, let it sink in, you know, and, like, take it in, like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be living my life this way. Well, that person who's giving you advice, are they really happy? How's their relationship doing? You know?
Truly.
Because so many people want to say something about your relationship, but their own relationship isn't really happy.
They're projecting.
So. Eek.
Absolutely. Super awkward. So we're going to end the podcast with a conversation that I've been wanting to have since, you know, the news broke out. But obviously, we've just been going through it at work. Like, we've been tired.
Life.
So now I really wanted to talk about it because it didn't sit right with me, obviously. I want to talk about Balenciaga. I want to talk about the scandal that, you know, has presented itself.
Spoken on.
And I want to actually start this off by saying that you know, I'm not going to be out here and be like, conspiracy theories, da-da-da-da-da. You do your own research. You decide what you want to do with the information that has been shared. But even before this Balenciaga scandal, I am a firm believer in the fact that we live in a world and a society that abuses children, and sex trafficking is very real. And as much as people want to be like, oh, these conspiracy theories, this, that, and the third, if you need to tell yourself that it doesn't exist in order to feel comfortable about the ugliness and the pain that exists in this world, you do that. I, as a Scorpio, I can't help but actually look at it and really, really accept the fact that we live in a disgusting, fucked up world. And there is an abuse of power here. Anyway, I mean, as you know, if you live under a rock, Balenciaga has essentially put out these ads, or past tense, of these children in, like, you know, with these bears that are in BDSM outfits. And it's not the only one, you guys. So if you think it's a coincidence and it's just this photographer, blah, 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 blah. No, there's been other ones.
And it's like, you know, if you look at the photographer, like, they had a lot of weird shit going on for a while. Like, it's just like, if you do a little bit of research, if anybody did a little bit of research,
they'll get it.
You would have seen that shit was really bad and fucking weird.
There was. I need to find the thing because I want to find it.
Apparently, nobody was looking. You see my big quotations. Maybe people who are just listening, I'm making big quotations.
It's just crazy because, you guys, like, one of the examples is they have these court documents about this guy named John Philip Fisher. And he is, you know, allegedly convicted of molesting his 4-year-old granddaughter for, like, years on end. That's just, like, one. And then you have the main Balenciaga. Like, how are these court documents the ones that are, you know what I mean, hidden in the background of these pictures? And then they're trying to say, oh, like, it's the company, it's a photographer, blah, blah, blah. And the photographer, if you look at her Instagram, she literally has all these posts about, like, cannibalism, especially as it relates to, like, child mutation. And, like, you know, like, it's just child. Like, why? It's gross, and I don't think it's a coincidence.
It's not.
And then one of the most disgusting things I saw, and I showed Maya because it was so disgusting, is that allegedly Balenciaga's parent company is owned by this man, and this man also owns this shop where he is selling these sex dolls that are children with genital parts as faces. So if you're reading if you're listening and you're like, what does that even mean? Google it and you'll see. I mean, trigger warning, it's really disgusting.
Yeah, beware.
But I just feel like there's absolutely no coincidence when it comes to that. It's disgusting. And children are some of the most innocent beings on this planet. And it's no coincidence that these powerful entities and these world leaders are using children. Like, you guys, if you look at the numbers of all the children being abducted, sex trafficking, it's so crazy to actually look at those numbers. Go Google it. But I truly, like I said at the beginning of this conversation, I think it scares people. It makes them feel uncomfortable. So they almost choose to look the other way. And I think as a society, we need to have thicker skin in order to see what's really going on and combat it in a way that will actually protect people and kids and women. Like, you know, it's not just children, but right now we're talking about children. Yeah. People are being taken and abused and used. Yeah. Children are being used and abused. And there's these sick pedophiles, you know, on this planet that are getting away with it, and they run in the big leagues. Why do you think all these celebrities aren't talking right now? I'm not saying all these celebrities are pedophiles. What I'm saying is these celebrities have sold part of their soul to essentially receive fame and money and glory and fandom.
Because, again, if you just open the curtain a little bit, you would see the truth. It's right there. You know what I mean? That's the most fucked up thing to me, is that you can't even say it's hiding in plain sight. You're just in plain sight. There's no hiding.
No, there's no hiding.
There's no hiding involved. You're just out there waiting for someone to almost call you out. Yeah. Which is funny in today's society because we're, like, out here calling people and, like, ending people. more so ever than before. So to do this is like really extra, kind of like makes me feel like an extra fuck you, you're stupid, I'm better than you,
absolutely,
kind of energy. And I really hate that. And something that energy I've always felt from people who are like extremely wealthy and like they know something that I don't, but now I know too. You know what I mean? I've always known.
It's true.
But like,
I mean, I've watched,
y'all know what
I've watched documentaries where people have literally talked about their experiences, and they said, they say, when I got into this business, or when I, got in touch with these powerful people, I wasn't interested in these rituals, or, and obviously, in these predatory behaviors, but they almost put me in a situation where I was there, and then they were able to use that against me. That's what these people say.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was involved, or I was there, now I can't.
Well, it's blackmail.
Exactly. It's blackmail. and that's exactly what it is. It's essentially blackmail, and now they're stuck. Mm-hmm. And that's how, the 1% or these people shit. really get away with it. I mean, I don't want this conversation or this video to get blacklisted.
Right.
So I don't want to say what I really want to say, you guys, but you know what we're trying to say.
Right.
Just do your research.
Do the research.
I mean, truly, if you guys want us to make a Patreon where we talk about it all, we will do that.
We would actually love that, because we could do some other things.
Yeah, we could get high and literally drink and talk.
All we want, and we love that. So if you want
that, please
let us know, because we'll make it happen.
We'll make it. We'll
just like.
We'll show what's actually going on.
What's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah. So let us know, and we'll do that.
And we'll get into like deeper conversations.
With deeper conversations where we feel like we're not going to get blacklisted.
Because sometimes on
YouTube.
We're like, oh, let's not.
Yeah, we cut it. Because we don't know what the real internet is going to be all about.
There was actually another conversation earlier.
Yeah.
Today that I was like, let me not go in the way that I wanted to go. So if you want to know what we're talking about.
Yeah, let us know. We'll make a Patreon for you. Got Patreon, whatever it's called.
Yeah, whatever that.
Anyway,
is.
We love y'all so much. Thank you
much
for being patient with us when we take our breaks. Y'all know your girls got day jobs. Mm-hmm. It's hard out here, but this is what we love to do.
Yes, so we would like to make this our full-time job.
Yeah.
So you share us with your friends and your family, and you give us comments and things, because we believe. We love y'all so much. Don't forget to leave us a review on Apple, Spotify, wherever it is that you're listening. We love y'all so much. If you're on YouTube, comment down below. Let us know your favorite part, your favorite one-liner, what you want us to talk about next week. We just love and appreciate the shit out of you. I just wanted to say happy Sag season to all my Saggies out there.
Season.
I personally, as the Sagittarius queen, I have not been feeling my season that much, but I want to give a shout out to all my little Saggies out there. Happy birthday to all my sexy.
Happy birthday to the
babies.
Saggies. Happy birthday to the queen, Miss Maya. Okay, even though you say you've been not feeling it and Sag season has been intense, we still appreciate your energy year round. Believe that, truly.
Yes.
Love y'all so
Love you
much. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye, bestie.